What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at again with another video. So I'm gonna check out the Velveteen Dream controversy just got dark. Now, before we get into this video, I want to make myself smaller so that way you guys can check out this content creator. He goes by Deontay DDJ. Make sure you guys check his channel out. I've seen a few of his videos off camera and they're pretty dope. So definitely wrestling related. I think you guys would enjoy, so definitely go check this out. But the reason why I wanted to check out this particular video, because I recently seen like Velveteen Dream make some I don't know if it was a few clips, but I seen one of them on Twitter where he's basically kind of upset with how everything transpired with the whole situation with him, and he feels like he I guess you could say got done wrong in what went down, and he voiced his opinion on the whole situation. So I definitely wanted to kind of dive deep into this one and see what Deontay had to say about this, because to be honest with you, that whole situation does look kind of wild, and I can understand why WWE definitely wanted to distance themselves from him. I mean, he did look like he had a promising future on the main roster, but at the same time, those type of allegations and stuff, it just didn't look good. So we're gonna check this out, see what he has to say about this. Let's get right into it, man.
And loop me in with Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit is a killer. I'm not a killer, but don't push me, because if you push hard enough, I'll kill pro wrestling for you.
Patrick Clark, formerly known as the Velveteen Dream, posted a series of messages demanding public apologies and advocating for a return to WWE. These posts come in response to recent headlines involving a former WWE talent's reported indictment on serious charges.
Wrestling is fake. It makes sense to me that people who watch something fake, who love fake chaos, will continue to pour into it. But I just want you to know, it's really affected me. And since I have been affected, I only feel that it's right that I affect you back.
Over on Instagram, he said the following: "People guilty of child crimes don't get to walk around free." Then, referring to his own past controversies, Clark called out the wrestling community and his critics for vilifying him in 2020 when he was accused of inappropriate conduct with minors. "A lot of you owe me an apology for dragging me through the mud. 5 years later, here I stand, still free and without a single charge. It's very hard for people to admit when they were wrong and malicious. Once upon a time, he was absolutely someone who we all saw would be the next big thing. His early NXT run, and particularly his match against Aleister Black, was superb.
The man who was the polar opposite.
Yeah, he was slated to be the next big star.
Clark was released by WWE in 2021 following public allegations during the Speaking Out movement in 2020 that he had inappropriate conduct with underage individuals. He denied all accusations, claiming a private photo of his had been distributed without his consent and that he never engaged in improper communication. By this point, the damage was already done, with #FireVelveteenDream trending whenever he'd be on TV, making him quite the liability for the company. At the time, Triple H stated publicly that WWE had conducted an internal investigation and, quote, didn't find anything. However, at least one alleged victim later claimed that WWE never contacted them as part of the review, casting doubt on the thoroughness of this process. Despite being let go by the company, Clark insisted the case against him was built on falsehoods and that he had never been charged with any crime. He's now asking fans to help push for him returning to the WWE. "If you love me like you say you love me, the bosses, Triple H and HBK, pay attention to social media. #We want the dream and spam at Triple H at WWE. They will hear you. We can make enough noise to drown out those lies and the hate." Well, once upon a time, Patrick Clark held the NXT North American Championship and was largely considered one of the most extremely promising young stars in the company. But his post-WWE image has remained controversial. Reports from his time in NXT indicated he had backstage heat with several of his fellow stars, while also being accused of secretly filming others in locker room bathrooms and faced multiple arrests, wellness
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It ain't even just that particular situation. It's a multitude of things that happen outside of WWE, which would still make it very hard for him to get back in. Like, I'm sure there's some people that would send out that hashtag, but I'm be honest with you. I literally just made a video earlier today talking about how the hate mob can really be something that is damn near hard to overcome on social media if you're not a big enough individual, like don't have that big following, that cult following of fans that will support and defend you online. If you don't have that, you're cooked. So in that sense, I'm talking about on an online presence. So him trying to get that hashtag, that it wasn't gonna work, bro. Nah, especially with some of the stuff he's done outside of WWE.
Violations and accusations of recklessness in the ring. Since his WWE release, Clark has wrestled only a limited number of independent matches, and no major promotion has publicly shown interest in signing him.
Yeah.
And understandably so, because crimes aside, the guy is clearly not all there. Even looking at his smile, it's so clear on a psychology level that he can't seem to let this go.
I'm gonna make sure that I expose the business. And hopefully, none of us can have pro wrestling.
You will never be signed by the WWE ever again, and the more you crash out, the worse it's gonna get. While speaking to Chris Van Vliet in 2024, Dream addressed the allegations directly, denying any misconduct.
Are these not conversations that you had?
No, those aren't conversations that I've ever had with anybody. Minor or adult. Legal, illegal, consensual, non-consensual, those words, those texts, those images that have been pushed out there on the internet, they're all false.
Dream clarified that the accounts making the accusations were taken down and are no longer accessible. However, he did admit that he was speaking to a person named Jacob Schmidt on Instagram, but insisted that he never said or typed anything inappropriate.
Excuse me, a Jacob Schmidt on Instagram. We actually had a phone conversation over Instagram. At no point in time did I ever type anything or say anything that should have or could have been misconstrued as an advance of any type.
But I guess there's people that are going to say, why are you trying to be friends with a 16-year-old?
There's been a lot of people that have said a lot of things. The one thing to be very clear about, it's not a friendship. It's a mentorship. I can only akin it to the Big Brother, Little Brother program.
However, despite
Yeah, that's still just nah, bro. I mean, you know who you are. You know what you're trying to get to. I would just stay away from that, bro. It's cool to have people that are fans of you that would love to have a conversation with you and stuff, but you got to be like, you know what? I'm good on that. Like, hey, I appreciate your love and support. Hey, thank you, for rocking with me, you know what I'm saying? And go from there, like, I wouldn't try to be someone's mentor or anything like that, especially, you circumventing the parents' acknowledgement of it. Like, that just looks weird. That's a very big red flag to just be like, I'm a mentor of this guy that, this young individual that, supports me through Twitter. Well, let's have conversations. No. There needs to be proper channels that need to be addressed before you even get to that, Like, nah. Hey, I appreciate your love and support. Hey, make sure you check out NXT. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you check out NXT, man. Like,
his denials, it should be noted that there remains no concrete evidence proving his innocence against the allegations either. On the CVV show, Dream only offered his side of the story without presenting any proof. Meanwhile, there is video evidence of Dream speaking to minors, as well as photo evidence showing him allegedly sending nude images. Adding to the skepticism, the interview with Van Vliet has since been set to private on his YouTube channel, further raising questions about the credibility of Dream's statements. It still remains in parts on the internet in audio form, but it's damn near impossible to find the video version outside of YouTube Shorts. Dream's controversies didn't end with the allegations either. In August 2022, he was arrested twice in Orlando, Florida. The first arrest on August 20th involved charges on first-degree battery and trespassing after he allegedly bit and punched a gym employee at Club Orlando.
All that will be coming with us.
Please, sir, please.
Give me his bag.
Can I sit in
The little bag.
Bro, I need my. Bro, please.
I didn't do anything wrong. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything His wrong. identity bag in there. This is illegal. This is illegal, sir. This is illegal.
We told you it was the battery.
What was the battery?
The battery. You had a fight with him. You bit him.
I didn't bite him, sir. I didn't bite him.
Okay.
Just days later, on August 26th, he was arrested again for possession of drug paraphernalia. These incidents occurred while he was serving a 12-month probation sentence from a previous arrest in November 2021 for possession of cocaine. He spent 25 days in Seminole County Jail and was released on September 13th, 2022. Dream was also involved in a separate incident where he allegedly used cocaine while employed by WWE, leading to a quiet suspension. It was reported that Dream admitted to using cocaine with other NXT wrestlers, raising further concerns about his behavior during his time with the company. And this is where former WWE superstar EC3 comes into all of this. In 2022,
What the hell was that? Did y'all see that?
during his time with the company. And this is where former WWE superstar EC3 comes into
That ain't creepy.
to all of this. In 2022, EC3 publicly accused Velveteen Dream of attempting to film other wrestlers in the bathroom during
That's
a party
wild.
at his home. According to EC3, he found Dream's phone positioned in a way that suggests it was recording. While speaking on the Wrestling Outlaws with Dr. Chris Featherstone
heard
and
about
Vince
this
Russo,
too.
EC3 stated the following: "I'm not making the claims. There was literally a camera in my bathroom that belonged to him on his cell phone that was filming the toilet, okay? It's not a claim." EC3 went on to describe what he saw, alleging that the phone was strategically placed to record people using the bathroom. The phone was propped up like it is on the desk of Al Snow's guest house, filming the toilet selfie mode style, like bafflingly crazy. I'm so aghast and shocked that I couldn't believe I was watching my own phallus tinkle on someone else's phone to see the record button going. Patrick Clark addressed these accusations during the aforementioned interview with Chris Van Vliet, denying that he was trying to film anyone, Dream claiming that while his phone may have been in the bathroom, it was not set to record anything.
I think at some point during the night, EC3 walked into the bathroom where my phone.
Why is your phone still in the bathroom and not on you? Like, this is those things where it's like, you still ask the question, but why did you leave it there? Like, I get it, sometimes people forget their phones and stuff, but that's, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's just, you start to ask questions on these situations where it's just like, I don't know. This looks kind of weird.
Phone was laying flat, saw it, and maybe had some interpersonal conflict on how he wanted to deal with that.
What?
But that was never true.
Dream also accused EC3 of bringing drugs to the party and starting a chaotic scene.
EC3 brings out a framed black and white picture of Tom Selleck with a pile of cocaine on this picture of Tom Selleck, and he puts it down on his dining room table and it's like, let's party, boys.
Dream further suggested that substances are a part of EC3's life and that he struggles to control them.
Can't say abuse, but substances are an aspect of Mike's life that he has a problem controlling. And the other two people, our mutual friends, were there. I left my phone on your bathroom counter, and because you were not sure of my sexuality at the time because of the character I played on TV and because we're not friends in real life at all, you try to accuse me of recording you in your own home. I had him prove to you that I was not recording you. Cocaine is a hell of a drug, EC3. Get your shit together. You're pathetic. Now control that narrative, you asshole.
However, EC3 doubled down on his allegations against Dream, calling him out for lying about the incident. EC3 says, "Why was the phone in the bathroom? Why was it lying flat? Because it wasn't." In a separate interview with Steve Fall, EC3 claimed that WWE knew about Dream's alleged actions, but chose to protect him due to his perceived value as a rising star.
It was known, like talent knew, like they were involved, and it's a wild tale, and a lot of people did know. And sometimes if talent's doing well and drawing money, they'll be protected.
And him being a weirdo continues. In January of this year at an MCW
wild,
wrestling event, Patrick would enter wearing a t-shirt
I
featuring
remember
some of the
this.
most recognizable mugshots in wrestling history. The back of the shirt read, quote, "Guilty by association," while the front displayed mugshots of Vince McMahon, Donald Trump, Booker T, Liv Morgan, Ric Flair, Roman Reigns, Andre the Giant, Brock Lesnar, Eddie Guerrero, Scott Hall, Chris Jericho, and Dream himself. And understandably, the shirt immediately immediately drew criticism. Many thought, well, this guy is just trying so hard to stay relevant through the visor of making a political point, all by exploiting the real-life legal troubles and personal struggles of those on the shirt. And once again, another big mistake in his comeback tour. Instead of addressing all the backlash of the shirt, he doubled down and promoted the shirt with the caption, "Guilty by association merch available, #heel." For years, all these examples and more prove that deep down inside, the deeply deranged human being known as Patrick Clark just can't seem to accept that it's time to move on. The response to this last gasp of relevancy was overwhelmingly negative, with many calling the shirt disrespectful and a cheap attempt at getting attention. Some fans argued that Dream is attempting to capitalize on the dark side of wrestling history to keep himself in the convo after a string of scandals, which clearly is what he's doing, because he went from seemingly trying to move past it to realizing, oh wait, this is the only thing I can hang my hat on now, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I assume Patrick Clark is one of those any press is good press kind of people. What I don't think he realizes though is that anytime he's trending and no matter what he does to try and overwrite it, we still know what you did. But then in early 2024, Velveteen Dream released an apology video expressing remorse for his past actions and acknowledging his mistakes.
I did see
As
this
you've probably
too.
seen or have heard over the course of the last few years, I want to apologize for my behavior. Both professionally and personally, I always preach to those closest to me about the power of accountability and responsibility.
Yeah, I remember seeing
and I take
this.
full accountability for my behavior over the last 3 years of my life.
He then addresses the WWE directly.
First, I want to apologize to the WWE organization. I want to apologize to the WWE organization for any unwanted attention and negative press that I've brought to your brand and your product. I want to apologize to the WWE fans and the Velveteen Dream fans, because when you hear the name Velveteen Dream, it should have only been spoken about in a productive and a positive light.
He also apologizes to Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
I want to apologize to the WWE and the fans. I want to apologize to Paul Levesque. Paul, you are such an understanding and patient man and leader, and getting the opportunity to work with you and to learn from you, I get the sense of what makes you who you are and how you've been able to handle the responsibility of being in the public light for such a long time. Also, I want to say I'm sorry to Shawn Michaels, and I apologize if you feel like you've wasted your time and your energy investing into me. You have not. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning.
Dream also apologizes to his family for the negative attention they faced because of his actions.
No one should have to answer the questions. Where's Patrick now? What did Patrick do? What happened with Patrick? That's not your responsibility, and I don't want you to feel burdened with that responsibility. That's my responsibility.
So now here in the big 2025, do any of you actually want to see Velveteen Dream back in a WWE ring, if in wrestling at all? Personally, I have no interest. Once upon a time, you were absolutely brilliant at what you did, and I think it is a damn shame you messed up everything you could have had. And for as delusional and as deranged as Patrick Clark comes across, he needs to accept that it is time to move on to a different career, because the DREAM is over.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. The recent crash out, or the recent him saying he's gonna ruin wrestling and stuff like that, it definitely looks kind of manic. Like I said, I did see a little bit of the clip. I was just kind of confused with what the hell he's talking about. But once again, the things that he's done in the past it's ultimately not gonna help him get back into WWE, because they're not gonna want to deal with it. They're owned by TKO now. Any type of allegations, true or not, they gonna pull you off of TV, and they may let you go because they have investors that have invested a lot of money into the product now. They want a squeaky clean product as much as possible. Why do you think Brock Lesnar, aka Redacted, has not been there? It's because of the whole allegations with him being involved in the Janelle Grant situation. And those are just allegations. We don't know if those are 100% true. Brock Lesnar, one of the most highest paid wrestlers of all time, is gone. You think they're going to bring Velveteen Dream back? The writing was on the wall a long time ago. It didn't help that he was getting into trouble and all other types of stuff. It's over for him, unfortunately. I do think he does need to move on, because him keep going down this path of trying to keep his name relevant every few years, it's not working. People are just like, whatever, bro, you're not going back to WWE. Most major wrestling companies are not going to sign you. I hate to say it, but I think his wrestling career has been done. So, hey, comment down below. Let me know some other wrestling related videos y'all want me to check out. And definitely, before I end this video, I'm going to, once again, go subscribe to Deontay DDJ. I think you guys will definitely enjoy checking out some of his other videos I definitely have, and they're pretty dope. So go subscribe to them, show them some love. Appreciate all the love, support. Road to 150K. Appreciate y'all kicking it with me. See y'all next one. Peace.